I would get a Shiba Inu because ever since I was younger, I used to watch this movie called Hachiko, and ever since then, I've always wanted a Shiba. And particularly, I would get a younger one so I could grow up with it.
And I would definitely own a newborn beagle because I never witnessed that.
If I had a chance to get a dog, I would get a French bulldog because they're usually like the ones that people would actually disregard a lot because to most people they're ugly or they look too mean, they look too aggressive, but to me they seem like the ones that need the love the most. If I have to be honest, I would get a puppy.
I have a dog. Her name is Milo, and she's a Jack Russell Terrier. We got her when she was around 4 years old. And she's now 16 years old, but she's still going strong and she's still pretty much healthy and active as a senior dog. And we pretty much had her for a really long time now. I remember I was still in primary school when we first got her. And having the experience of growing up with a dog is really rewarding.
Hi, I'm Valerie Wong. I work with Hong Kong Paws Foundation as a volunteer. I do have 5 cats actually. They're all adopted from the foundation. An adoption event every Saturday. That's for dogs, and for cats I would say that we have adoption event maybe like once a quarter or something, but people do go to our website and they do come and visit our animals in the shelter. Our foundation started off as it was just like a one-person sort of effort, but a couple years ago we had a large-scale rescue case that we rescued 46 cats and 12 dogs, and that's how we had to establish a physical presence. We had to rent a space for a cat shelter, etc. First off, we would ask adopters to go on our website and fill out the questionnaire. It's about 20 questions or so, mainly just asking about like what you look for when you adopt an animal and how prepared you are. And then we will review all the applications. Usually it takes about, I would say sometimes it's really quick if the adopters are really prepared. Like in some cases, some adopters might have had animals before that have passed away, right? So they are really ready. So it could take any time from maybe 2-3 days to 1 month. Obviously, we struggle with space and financial resources. Money is always an issue because as the pets get older, as the animals get older, they need to see the vet, and then medical bills just sort of add up. We have had a case, for example, a couple months ago that our senior cat was abandoned, and someone offered us money to sort of sponsor the cat. But the struggle here is that we also struggle with space, right? So probably I would say space and money together.
Obviously, having a dog, it's not always like perfect. I mean, it's great having a dog and everything, but obviously we cannot escape experiencing all those hardships. And one time she had to undergo a surgery to remove a cyst in her body that might have caused cancer to her. So obviously as dog owners, we didn't want to risk that. So we went along with the surgery process, but obviously it was her first time going through the surgery. So that left us really nervous and worried because we didn't know what was going to happen. but thankfully the surgery was a success.
And then recently, last summer, we had another case that we had to rescue almost 30 cats and I think 4 or 5 dogs. It comes by every now and then. Of course, we try to help as much as we can, and they're always rather difficult. We have a dog, Benson. He's about 10 years old now. He was abandoned, we guess, at the age of about like 4 or 5. So he's been with us for a couple of years. Luckily, he's now staying with a foster, and he was found just wandering on his own in Kowloon by the Victoria Harbour, you know, like in Tsimsha. He is. I think we believe that he was used as a guard dog because he's well trained, like he could follow instructions, etc. But because of his age, in the last couple of years, he just had no luck of being adopted. He comes to our every single adoption day at Discovery Bay, our adoption event, but he just has not been adopted. So he's been staying with our foster for the last couple of years. We understand that everyone wants to adopt pets of a younger age. It's just human nature, right? But the fact that if you can care for the ones that are most in need, I think is a greater thing to do. So you just have to be prepared that it will not be easy. It might cost a bit of money, but you're doing a big favor.
The older my dog got, she became pretty fragile. I mean, she's still active at times, but there are times when she would feel really weak and she would sleep most of the time. But you know, as a dog owner of a senior dog, I feel like it's best if we just always pay attention to what is happening to them.
Recently, we had a cat in our shelter that passed away at a very young age due to like a birth defect, if you will.
Yeah, I've actually experienced the passing of a dog, and it's my cousin's dog. And the dog is called Bella. And Bella is basically my childhood friend. But recently, this summer, 2018, Bella had a kidney failure or some failure in her organs, which made her really weak, and she couldn't stand, she couldn't eat, and she just kept throwing up. And of course, they didn't want Bella to suffer anymore, so they brought her to the vet, and they decided to put her down through euthanasia.
For all ages, yes, we have had cats and dogs that have passed away in like maybe at the age of like 14, 15, etc. So since we've been doing this for so many years, we have had more than a handful. Yeah.
Having to witness Bella's life leaving her body, it was hard to watch, and I admit I had to look away throughout the whole procedure because, like, even though it's not my dog, I cannot imagine. I cannot imagine what they would go through because throughout the whole procedure, I was just picturing what would happen if that was Milo, and I just couldn't watch. But yeah, it was a really painful experience.
I actually help out on a daily basis because we do have a Facebook page, we do have a website that needs constant maintenance. Of course, the rescue work is never easy, so I would say that the part that all volunteers should enjoy the most is when the animals get adopted. Yeah, when we see that they go to a good family, sometimes the families would send us pictures or videos of how happy they are. That's the part we enjoy the most.
I haven't experienced volunteering in a shelter before, but after visiting one in Yuen Long from Hong Kong Paws Foundation. It was a truly eye-opening experience, and it really made me realize the importance of volunteering, because it really helps not only the organization itself, but as well as the animals in the shelter. If I did have the chance to volunteer, I definitely would, because now I definitely see how much difference it would make.
When you take care of senior dog, I think you should really be able to actually have a lot of patience.
Patience. All it takes is a lot of patience.
Pets also deserve a second chance. For them, it's almost like they don't age. Some very old dogs can behave like puppies, right? So we just want we want the public to understand that sometimes when you adopt a senior pet, it might be better for the family because their character is more developed, and then maybe they can follow instructions, and yeah, they will be good companies for families.